Does junk journaling count as junk journaling if it's not junk? Well, I'm gonna call it junk journaling anyway because it has a nice ring to it, but sometimes I do feel like I'm just collaging. I have pages in my sketchbook where it is literal junk, like candy wrappers or receipts. But in this one, I used magazines and wallpaper paper. There's this antique wallpaper looking collection of craft paper that I found this somewhere, and just threw it together and decided to use that. And I learned how to do this in a graphic design class I took in 10th grade, and I kind of just ran with it. We did it a little bit in 11th grade too, but I found that this skill or this form of art helps in a lot of ways more than just making something out of nothing. Even though it's not drawing, it helps with things like composition, for example. Shapes, textures, and colors all play a part into harmony at the end in an art piece. So collaging helped me to understand this a lot. The way you put shapes and colors and textures together really makes or breaks a piece. Even in drawings I've seen before, the drawing's amazing. It's just, the form and everything of the character, for example. But if the harmony of the piece doesn't look, if there's no harmony, I guess you could say, then the piece is hard to look at because your eyes are darting all around, and it's hard to see what you're supposed to be focusing on. When I think about materials that I use for collaging and journaling, I would say I love magazines. I have 2 fashion magazines which I used a lot, but I use a lot of magazines like National Geographic magazines and other random ones set with great images. Glue, tape, and scissors are all very useful. And then what I use a lot of time also, mostly to get smaller details, is X-Acto knives. When I'm getting around things like hair, it makes it a lot easier than big scissors, just to see and get the small details that you might want to leave in your art piece. I have this green cutting board thing. I use it as a ruler because there are grid lines and everything, but it also is helpful so I don't cut up my desk, and it's also slightly soft so then it doesn't destroy your blade as easily. I would definitely recommend these because if you were cutting straight into the magazine, you might cut through multiple pages that you still need, and then you'll see it more at the end, but I also love stickers. The stickers weren't a main character in this piece, but they definitely came in handy just to add small details throughout, as just to bring the whole piece together. And also with my X-Acto knife, I don't think I did it in this spread, but in some spreads I will take my stickers that have borders and cut the borders off. That's because personally I like borderless stickers better, but a lot of them do have borders, so this is also just a great way to use your X-Acto knife, get some practice if you don't like using scissors. But I do know there's a lot of people that strictly use scissors and they're really, really good at it. I just suck at it, so I was like, X-Acto knife it is. When collaging, the main thing I try to remember is that it's not going to be perfect. Sometimes you cut out 100 images and only use 50. Sometimes you cut out 5 and end up needing 20. It's all just trial and error, and until you've made your vision come to life, you just keep going and trying and starting over. And then if you like want an idea for something to do that's kind of quick or easy, I try to do color pages. So maybe if you wanted to do a green page or a pink page, this one time I had some Dove chocolate and the wrapper was red, so I did a red and pink spread. For this one I chose gray and blue, but usually like choosing one color and then a few accents is a great way to keep it simple and have a great composition when you're not worried as much about color. So maybe in these you would focus more on shape and texture because the color's kind of already figured out for you. You don't have to go back and like fight with what matches. For me, what takes the longest is finding the actual images. In this one I had like my main character, I guess, which is the model. Even though she's not centered, I still feel like she plays a big role in this piece. But for me personally, it was just like the basis of what I was doing. Like in this piece, I have 4 main images and then the background, and everything else is kind of just added to make the piece flow and bring the whole piece together. In my graphic design class, what we do is arrange our main images on the piece of paper and then take a picture and then switch everything around and rearrange it and then take a picture. And we would do this 3 to 5 times until we found a composition that spoke to us and that it's like how you were really imagining it. And then after you do that a few times, you would scroll through your pictures and see which one's the best to you. So this is kind of what I do a lot. Sometimes I don't take pictures, sometimes I just throw them together and then stop on one. Or if I end up, like if I keep going back to an idea, then that's the one I end up going with. Kinda, but I don't know what to say, so if you have any other things you would want me to talk about or ideas, like things you want to learn, just let me know. I'll talk about them. I love making art. I love studying art, so I have a lot to say about art. I love it. And when this is my first voiceover, so I was kind of nervous, but I thought that this is a shorter video and it's pretty simple, just me junk journaling. So thanks for watching, and thanks again for all the support. And here's the final look.